What chat did you put him
And we're here in our respective places, in the respective parts of the country, not all centralized in Pollen Central. That'll be next week. But nonetheless, welcome back for another fun episode of Athletics Well LLC. I'm not going to say that any of the four tiles are recovered, but we are alive and somewhat breathing out of our nostrils. So that's progress.
in?
Progress. It's the little things in life at this point.
Yep.
So, Governor, how are you doing tonight, sir?
I have sort of recovered. I am still a bit stuffy. You know, the flight back was a little painful, but it's midweek and I'm feeling much better than I did 3 days ago. So good riddance to Eugene. I will take the heat of San Antonio any day. Thank you.
Did you guys fly out Saturday evening?
We flew out Sunday morning.
Got it.
Yeah, we went to Portland and overnighted, and then flew out Sunday morning, got back Sunday afternoon.
Can do. All right. Clyde, how are you tonight, sir?
I'm good. First of all, they have a wonderful new technologies and drugs to help you lower life form humans deal with, your issues.
Lower life form human.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's what we are.
See, I've heard it
but-
referenced different ways. One I heard was, God's people. God's people, we God's people don't have that problem. I heard that.
Well, I couldn't sell you that, right? And so, but to the governor, would you take the unprofessionalism of Austin over the grandiose?
Are we gonna start this again?
This is
I love it.
He said good riddance to Eugene after a world-class experience.
You are talking about human activity versus Mother Nature. Like, this is what it is.
Yeah.
There is no negotiation. You are going to feel the pain if you are susceptible to it. So no, I don't want to do it. No. Give me rain. Give me wet. Okay.
Give you the tape box under the stadium. Give you that.
Yeah.
That's
Well, see, okay,
hilarious.
so first of all, I'm doing well.
Jump cut.
He might be doing all right. He might be all right.
Yeah. And
He needs more posters behind him.
sinuses or not, I'm doing well. I have two of just starting to be able to breathe normally again.
Yes.
But I will have to admit the two most common things you heard in Eugene were "achoo" and "God bless you." Yeah. It's like So, but the meat itself was phenomenal. But the allergies are real. God's people are not. It's real. It's real.
Well, and I say the pollen was different from even the 2 years ago. Because 2 years ago I was okay. This year I was scratching my eyes and I'm like, no, it got me.
Yep.
It morphed.
So I had a doctor's appointment Monday morning.
Oh, they were like they tried to kick you in, didn't they?
And Doc said, he goes, "Coach, like, why are your eyes so dry?" I was like, I was in Eugene, Oregon for a week, and then we took a red eye back. He goes, "Yeah, that'll do it. We can use some eye drops." So yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah,
that's funny. He probably tried to diagnose you with like a sinus infection before he even saw you.
Nah, he was just like, "I get it."
Oh, that's funny. Well, glad everybody's safe. Glad everybody's back in one piece. Clyde, there was no tornado for you this weekend, so that's always a plus.
No, imagine that.
That's
No
always a
tornadoes
plus.
on the West Coast. No, no dangerous weather events that.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
We're not gonna act like we haven't had extremely inclement weather in Eugene before. No, that's not.
No, never where you had to take cover.
Get away from the windows.
Oh look, dude, it hailed in Eugene one year.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, absolutely. I will find the video. Daryl McQueen is standing on the runway, getting ready to triple jump or long jump. I forget what it was, and it just started. It was hailing. I'll never forget it.
West Coast hail is like them little nuggets that come out of your refrigerator. That Midwest Southern hail is like golf balls that damage your car.
We're just talking about inclement weather here. We're not talking about the size of it. Okay. Hailing is no matter what the size of it in the middle of a long jump competition is a problem.
Probably bad.
Right?
Please.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I can't. I can't. All right. Staying in Eugene, but moving on from the topic. What a meet. What a meet.
And let's put it in proper perspective. The ladies. Wow.
They stole the show.
Yeah. Like the men were okay. It was like there might have been what 2 or 3 good events on the men's side. That's special. The 400 hurdles was special. That was nice.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The 4x1 and the 4x4 were nice.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there was nothing on the track for the men that made you go, wow, you know? But then when you come back to the women, it wasn't an event that didn't make you go, wow.
Yeah, you had to pay attention.
Yeah. It was pretty phenomenal. Start with Mackenzie Long.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
I mean,
What a story.
Yeah.
Mackenzie Long, whatever else happens when you think about this women's meet 10 years from now, this is the Mackenzie Long, come out party. Like,
right.
It was her show.
Yeah. And from the first event on Wednesday, the 4x1.
Yep.
Yeah.
When she and Jaden Mays went out down the backstretch, you were like, oh, this is going to be special because Jaden Mays is good.
Yeah.
And she just took her to school.
Yep.
She did.
Yeah.
Literally.
I've never seen, and having heard her story while things were materializing, I don't think people understand just how special that is to be able to hold your nerve. You're talking about 3 of the most high intensity, high risk, high reward events. Things can go wrong. And this young lady was on a rope. There was nothing that was going to deny her, and then to speak about her mom and everything afterwards, it was just like, wow. She talks about the blocks. Did you hear the story about
that? Oh my God. I got chills listening to that.
Chills.
Okay,
insane.
So you want to tell it?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so she says she goes out to the blocks for the 100 for the semifinal, and she has her little tape measure, and the blocks are set exactly like to the number to where they're supposed to be for her.
Crazy. So wherever they dropped her,
wow.
Yeah, like they were exactly. Yeah. And she said she just said, "Mom, thank you. I know you're with me now." Yeah.
Oh, my heart. Oh,
I know, right?
Wow.
Yeah. What a story.
Yeah.
And and obviously, like she, first of all, shout out, she's from Columbus, Ohio, C-Bus in the house. And obviously Holland being my mentee, I talk to him all the time, and she's a great young lady. And
yeah,
I can remember, talking to her after her mom passed, and that was one of my challenges to her, like, hey, you got to do this for mom. You know what she would want from you. And she's like, oh, I got her. Think about like 2 years ago, she was at NC State and nobody even knew who she was.
Yeah.
Now you can't stop talking about it, right? Shout out to Holland and an incredible job he did with that crew.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you think about it. Ole Miss is now, their school records are now 42-22.
Right.
2190 something. No, 2183, because that was legal.
83, that was legal, yeah.
And 1091.
Wow.
Yeah.
Big shoes to fill.
Yes.
It was, you could tell, once the event started that Saturday was going to be amazing. And from the triple jump to the throws, it was just all around. You saw young woman putting on a show. At one point I looked around, I'm like, this has to be one of the biggest crowds I've seen.
It was packed.
And it gets cheated because of the size of the stadium.
Exactly.
Right?
That's right.
But if you
That's
put
right.
that someplace else, it's overflow.
Yeah.
Because even on Wednesday, I looked up in the stands. I was like, where are all these people come from?
Yeah.
And they were very, and maybe it's because there wasn't a lot of pop going on in the men's meet.
Mm-hmm.
But like the crowd just wasn't as vocal and as usual.
Yeah.
But for the women, it was a big crowd and they were loud.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that had to do with the fact that Oregon women were there and were competitive as well.
Yes.
I have to. I'm gonna need at least Choose assistance on this. Probably others. I want to say this. My petty point. It's every year, but I think this year it's a bigger problem, and specifically on the women's side, the idea that World Athletics is telling me that I watched a C-level competition is utter nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
Like
ridiculously foul play on that issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I would argue, because the women were great across the board, I could make a legitimate case, but I can't put it in the proper words because it's not my thing. The women's high jump was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh.
Like in an NCAA meet, I need gravity. I need someone to explain for the audience like how ridiculous that was.
So first off, just start that it took 81 to get to the meet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes. I mean, the year itself.
Just start there, right? And then the amount of 84s that were present to go to misses on 81. Unreal. And it wasn't just on one side, it was on both sides. And so that part, that's before the time even starts. Then you get to the meet and the players who were supposed to be playing weren't playing. Huh?
Yeah.
And not that they didn't, but like it just, when you got to 191, 192, whatever that bar was.
191. 191 was fourth place.
Yeah. And you saw the people who were sitting out there still, you're like,
yeah.
huh?
Yeah, like I walked out there, and I'm like, there's no Rachel, there's no Destin. I'm like, what's going on here?
Mm-hmm.
But then I look at the height of the bar and I'm like, whoa. And what was it, 194, where like 3 girls cleared it on their final attempt?
Yes.
Yes. And that was the beauty of it. Like the crowd was all into that. They were clapping, they were engaged, they were very excited when they cleared the bar. That was amazing. That was amazing. The energy in the stadium at that point in time was man, it was great.
Yeah, it was.
It really was. Yeah.
You got 6 PBs. 6 PBs, 197 finished third, and 2 meet records at 197. Like I just
crazy. Okay. Crazy. And not that I already forgot their names, pardon me for being tired, but Illinois or Georgia weren't doing well prior.
Mm-hmm.
They just weren't in the front of the limelight with everybody else. Like it wasn't just as wowing, and with Rachel Glenn doubling the way she was, that was something to be watching and whatnot. And I don't know if you guys were, but I was actually watching her and seeing how she was going to handle the load. But it was pretty crazy. It was just unreal as to how it unfolded. And I shouldn't say unreal. It's just NCAA championships. That's all.
Okay. So you talk about Rachel being in both the events.
Yeah.
Oh, and
who had Jasmine Jones running 53-1 and win?
Another absolutely crazy event. Honestly, like watching that event play out in real time. First of all, like the young lady from Michigan, Miss Southern,
yes,
was on one. Like she was rolling.
She said, "You better say my name."
And just a late mistake cost her the race. But ultimately, Jasmine's a legitimate elite sprint hurdler. So when she's coming down the end, I'm like, wait a minute. When Sutherland made that error, I'm like, oh, it's over because Jazz is gonna take the last hurdle better.
Right.
And I mean, no one had that.
No
one had that. Like that was a great race.
Big shout out to Joanna Hayes.
Yeah.
Big shout out.
Right. Meet record.
And then right. So, and let's talk about the elephant in the room. I mean, the super sweep in the 400. I mean, so wrap your mind around this. Okay, I don't know another coach who has coached more than 2 women to run sub 50 in the 400.
Sure.
Other than maybe Bobby Kersey, this man had 4 of them in the same race.
Yes.
Well, see,
You know?
so the super sweep, it's dope, but we all knew that was coming. I'm more impressed with the times.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 49.7 is 4.
Yes.
Right.
That's insane. What, if I'm not mistaken, 3 of them took a thing mo off the board. Right? So, I mean, 48.89 to win an NCAA championship is stupid.
In a C-level meet.
Yeah.
Right. No, right, yeah.
So
Like
the C-level
that's
meet
great.
had 10-8 windy, 10-9 legal, 21-8, 42-2, 48-8, 9-15 in the steeple, 14-52 in the 1500.
Yep.
I mean, in the 5K.
5K.
Right? You know, 40 whatever 47.7 is metrically in the triple jump. You know, almost 690 in the long jump. That's but a C-level meet. Yeah.
C-level meet.
Yeah.
C,
12:47 in the short hurdles.
right.
Yeah.
And that was another one of my more favorite races, because for Grace to focus and demolish the first half of that, like, she put them away early.
Yeah.
And you know,
that
there
might
were
have
some
been
good
the
challenges
plan.
in that meet.
Well, see, so you know, to be fully transparent, like, Grace warmed up in the semifinal like she was going to run 12.3, and then she went out on the track, and in my opinion, was lucky to break 13 flats because how bad her technical model was.
Mm-hmm.
So in our talk before the final was just like, you have to block out the outside noise, lock into lane 5, and take care of lane 5. But I told her, I said, the biggest segment you have to take care of, you have to run from 1 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
More importantly, from 1 to 2, because if you don't, you're going to fade down there. And she came off of hurdle 1. I was like, okay, yeah, we're good, because Jasmine was running.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, like, she had a great. And wait a minute, Dana Boone,
Woo!
Nia
Yeah.
Jones. You told
Yeah.
who saw 12:50? Think about 12:59 is third in a C-level meet.
Yes.
You know,
I mean, look, it's just crazy, you know, when you start looking at these numbers. I mean, I can't wait to see where this meet ends up ranked.
yes, me either.
At the end of the year.
Yeah, me either, because that was phenomenal.
It was
Phenomenal.
Well,
and then let's cap off with the 317.
yes.
yes. Jeez.
Yeah, the
Jeez.
317.
Yeah.
And can I say a safe 317?
Oh, very safe.
Because they were clearly
Mm-hmm.
making sure the stick was passed.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Like,
Finish
And the
Outside
only one
of
that
literally,
really
here,
went to
give
the
me your
well
hand.
was
Here
the
you
leadoff
go.
girl. The rest of them were very comfortable in their 49-second split. They can run 315, no doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind. And so we have to give a shout out to Chris Johnson.
Oh, yes.
You know, Chris Johnson. You know,
Absolutely.
phenomenal job. You know, that team really came together. That was a team effort. You know, I told Lawrence the job he did with Destiny Haven in the 100 hurdles, 1286,
Mhm.
phenomenal. Nobody saw that coming. You know,
Mhm.
nobody saw that coming. You know.
So
I also thought that Oregon did a good job, you know, being on the home team and all that stuff, and the shot putters
I mean,
kind of
Sheesh.
unfair, right?
Play nice.
Yeah, like she just
Yeah.
and she took everybody else out of their zone, right?
Mhm.
Because they're so busy looking at her. She's already like she's a number 2 girl, so she drops a bomb and everybody else just tightens up, right?
yeah.
So no, she was phenomenal, and the crowd clearly and rightfully so got behind her in a big way as well. So it was good.
Shout out to JJ Clark for once again.
Hey, he does it again.
Hey, that might have been the one thing we got right. That might have been the one thing we got right.
Yeah. Clyde said to me at the meet, I don't know why they don't respect JJ. Yeah, they gotta know that's coming, right? They gotta know that's coming, right?
And what was crazy about that race, and you know, if you just watch those girls run enough, Kayla Rose is known for going out and putting races away. She tried to do it differently. She really tried. Just didn't matter. Like AJ's girls are like, okay, we'll do it that way. It's fine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of, real quick, to that little note there, I do not have the scores, people. I sincerely apologize. They're in with my meat notes from travel, and those remained in the backpack for a very long time because I was just meat hungover. So I will tally those scores, publish them on Twitter, tag everybody as LLC and whatnot, and publish them, and we'll verbalize them next week. But my apologies again. Still coming back to life. My man, the Keister.
Young
are we
Kai,
following
how
your
are you, sir?
TV? He said, I'm turning the TV on, y'all. Be quiet.
So,
But also want a little bit of a homer. Want to give a big shout out to Parker Valby.
Woo.
I mean,
you know, she was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 1452, and obviously I see her in practice stuff all the time, but like after the first lap, it was kind of like, she's just gonna go for the win. And then about at the mile mark, I'm like, no, she's trying to run fast, right? And you know, she was masterful as always, man.
Yeah,
as always.
He was sitting there as the crowd, and this is why you appreciate a Eugene crowd, because they were listening to the splits, and you could tell they were starting to get engaged. You know, 4 laps out, 3 laps out. And then the thought was, oh my gosh, she's going to break the record. Like it was really phenomenal to sit there and just, it reminded me of
she broke the record by 11 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Someone that I will remain nameless wanted to debate me as to who was going to win the Bowerman.
So let me say this. I will sit in for the EP and say a very EP thing. 2 things about the women's Bowerman. 1, they should have saved us all time and rolled it out to the track and handed it to Parker Valby.
Absolutely, right there.
That should have happened. Just do it. It's fine. We all get it. However, the dais is simple, people. It's Parker. It's Mackenzie. And yeah, put the 4x4 up there. Just let him have it. Let him have it. The last time he vouched for a 4x4, that was ridiculous and made no sense. But 317, yes, put him up there.
Yes.
That we're all good with that. But
so along those lines, stay on the women here. Okay, what's the performance of the year for the women? Yeah. Is it 317? Is it 48.8? Is it 30-40? Is it 14-51? 52?
Is it 3 goals?
No, it's a performance, sir. That's what I was going to say. Performance,
if it's a singular performance,
I say 317. That's what I think.
See, okay, so here's my problem with the 317. Performance of the year to me is a singular performance. And therefore, for me, Parker breaking the record the way she did at that place, I'd probably go that route. Or of the year, the Oregon lady with the 20-meter shot put, right?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I thought.
Right?
That was
because these are things that I
that
didn't think I'd actually see in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd be more akin to giving Nikisha Price in that space because I didn't think I'd see 48 in the NCAA either. But the relay is a you need 4 girls to do it.
And about the same thing goes. So we never thought we'd see 20 meters.
Nope.
Never thought we'd see 48. Never thought we'd see 317. We didn't think we were going to see 30 minutes by 10K. And definitely didn't think we was going to see 14:51, 52.
Yeah.
No.
Right? Now, after she did it indoors, I'm sure, right? But then nobody thought coming off the double, right? So there's a lot of wow moments there. So you think about that. We talk about all those. We didn't even mention anything that the 1091 or the 2180. Because we've seen those.
I mean, we've seen that.
Yeah.
But those are still incredible performances, right?
100%.
Yeah. Think about the double by Texas, Keela.
Oh,
incredible double, but it gets lost in this incredible. I mean, the women's meet was just absolutely phenomenal. They stole the show all weekend long. They did. Absolutely.
Now, I have a question for my historians on the men's side, because one of the better events, and absolutely I have a homer stock in it, was the men's 4x1. I don't know if the prelim was the fastest prelim ever, but it had to be up there because 38.7 didn't make the final.
I can't imagine that it wasn't, because I know we used to marvel when 38.9 didn't make it.
Yes.
Right.
So on 38.7 didn't make it. Yeah.
88, 90 all missed the final, but then the final was a disaster. Half the teams got DQ'd. So it was like the greatest thing and the worst thing all at the same time.
I mean,
that was crazy.
Number 11. No, sorry. You had to go to the 12th team to get to 39 seconds.
Oh no,
okay,
13.
But
Number 12 ran 38.90.
Yeah.
Is that before or after the DQs?
This is in the prelims.
This is in the prelims.
Weren't there some DQs in the prelims? South Florida got DQ'd in the prelims.
Oh, you're right. You're right. They absolutely did. South
seconds,
Florida, Tennessee, and Central Arkansas all got
DQ'd. And both Tennessee and South Florida broke 39 seconds.
Yes, they did.
Yep.
Insane.
Yeah.
I mean, look, part of the whole thing for me, from what we saw at first round at prelims till now, is what are we telling recruits now? Anyone that is thinking that they're of the standard, right? What are you telling them? Because this is not going away. These numbers, these standards are not going anywhere. And look, it's phenomenal. I mean, I have a question. Has a team won a team title before without winning an event? Has that ever happened? Does anyone know the answer to that question?
I don't know the answer to it, but I'm not surprised at who pulled it off.
I don't know the answer to that question. I don't.
You said no way? No way?
Because that was pretty interesting in itself. The other thing that stood out to me is that if you start going through the results, there's some winners from teams that folks are like, South Alabama winning the discus. Salif Mane from Fairleigh Dickinson winning the triple jump.
And putting it away on the first jump is like, come get me.
Yes.
Come get me.
Yes. So,
the mid-majors were here to play.
Yes, absolutely.
Here to play.
And so I have to give a tip of my cap to those coaches that prepared their athletes, because let's be honest, there has always been that almost kind of deep-rooted fear. Oh my gosh, there's Florida over there. Oh, there's Tennessee over there. And it's part of the fabric. Those teams expect to be there. But for you to get your athlete, you might just have one athlete there. And to get that kid to say, you know what, I'm blocking out all of this, you better come get me. I mean, it's pretty phenomenal. You got.
I want to give a shout out to two people.
Okay.
Start with Ken Harden and Leroy Burrell. You compose this one person. Okay. And see, in the video about what they did, most of those kids were D1 and D2 D2 and D3 last year.
Yep.
And Tharp was in high school a year ago.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So for them to pull that group together and as poised as that group was, we've seen Ken do some great coaching jobs.
Yeah.
This is not surprising to us who know that, Joker.
Yes.
But that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Right. And then we can debate about who's the performance of the year on the women's side, but on the men's side, it's the big German. And it's not even close.
Have we not even talked about that part yet?
No, I'm sorry. I mean, like that.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer. I mean, he was absolutely cooking. And then the thing I loved about it was like the whole field went after it in the 1500 and just pulled him along. He had a big PB in the 1500. He just wasn't enough to get the 9,000 points. Because he's running along and you're like, man, these guys are they're killing him. And then you look at the clock, you're like, yeah, they're all killing. You know, they're killing it. You know, so it was great to see them embrace it. And that's what decks do, though, right? They support each other, they look after each other. So that was great to see. But performance of the year is the big German by far. And then he comes back the next day and attempts to score in the discus, right? So,
yeah. That's
I know. I giggled when I think it was John who said it. It was like, oh, he's going to have tomorrow off. I was like, actually, he doesn't.
No, he's not.
He doesn't.
Yeah, he was right out there when I first got to that day stretching, getting ready for the discus. Yeah.
One of the better just straight up races, and we all knew it would be given how the season played out. What was the men's sprint hurdles, and props to Mr. Luff in his senior year, coming through with the big PB,
holding his nerve,
right?
Yes,
but there are so many things going on in that race. I mean, there were 3 mid-major kids in that race.
Yeah,
like you're starting to see, the true development of talented people more regularly outside of the P5 space.
Yep.
And I think that makes everybody have to work a little harder and run a little faster. And I think that's a good thing across the board. But that obviously that event was fun, for a lot of different reasons, but we brought it up earlier briefly. Caleb Dean, Caleb Dean in the 400 hurdles. First of all, has anybody ever run 47 and lost? Because the Alabama kid ran 47 and lost.
Yes, Benny Brazil.
Benny Brazil. I knew there was one. Yeah. I knew there was one. But
remember,
it's really hard
Benny Brazil holds the distinction of being, at one point in time, he was the second fastest 400 hurdler in collegiate history, and he never won a conference nor national title.
Gosh.
Crazy.
That stings.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Bad birthday, right?
Yep.
Bad birthday. So,
Benny
was an absolute warrior.
47-23 is
yeah. And it was the way he did it. Like, he just went out and he dared them to come with him. And he got on the home stretch, and everybody thought he was going to die, and he was just like, no.
No, it was massively.
Because Chris Robinson is a finisher.
Yes.
And he just broke him. Then Chris looks at the clock, it's like 47.98. That's the second fastest time of his life. He's like, just got beat today, right?
Yeah.
But the U.S. trials just got hot in that event.
Yeah. A little bit. A little bit.
Unbelievable. I just, and the thing that, obviously the testament and the true understanding of how these coaches are going to get these athletes back up and ready in less than 2 weeks. I mean, we're going to see some fireworks. I mean, I think America has to be happy. The USA has to be happy about what the 4x4 for women is going to look like.
Well, now, wait a minute. Now,
yes, that's what I'm saying. Now,
not 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
right. Like, a lot of things changed.
Yes.
Yeah.
And speaking of the 4x4 for Team USA.
Oh God.
This is going to be good.
No,
this is going to be good. I'm dialing it up for you right now. This is going to be good.
Some things in this world are just simple. We should just get this correct. I do not care what Ahmad Robinson does at the U.S. Olympic trials. Put him on the team. Leave it alone.
Leave it alone.
I don't care. I don't care if he doesn't make the final. When the boy has a stick in his hand, he's a different dude. He made the University of Florida.
Yes.
You don't get to shoot and picket mouse very often. Okay. University of Florida ran 2:58, season's best in the final to win a national championship. Their anchor split 43 and he looked ridiculous. Looked ridiculous.
Like, you can be mad at me. I was like, wow, that just wasn't a good run. And I look at the time and I'm like, oh.
No, I knew he was rolling. I knew it. But see, here's the thing. With 150 to go, I said, this ain't good. This ain't good. Because like we all know Ahmad, right?
Yeah.
That dude goes hunting. And the thing is like Genoa can't see him. Right?
Yeah.
You can't see him. and then all of a sudden you can feel him. And the thing with Ahmad is Ahmad's not one of those guys, and when he comes up on you, he just goes, right?
Yeah.
So and that just kind of shocked you, though. I mean, we call it what it was. But hey, like I told him, I said, look, we're national champions, bro. We'll take that third place.
It is what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like seriously, like with the whole relay slash, you get 2 discretionary picks. He's in.
Now, for the record, he can't come to the trials and run 45.8 and go to the games. Can't.
No.
Yes, can.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't.
Yes, can.
No, you can't.
I don't care.
Because there's such a thing. There's such a thing as showing fitness. There's such a thing as
it's 2 weeks from now.
Okay, again, so that's my point. So in 2 weeks from now, I don't think he's going to do that because it's Pat Henry. Pat will have it ready, right? But he's got to come there and at least be competitive. You can't come there and get put out in the semifinal and run 46 seconds and
Is the Arkansas kid an American?
Yes, he is.
Okay, so those are your 2 discretionary picks. They're on the team.
Oh gosh.
You whoever wins, 1, 2, 3, that's cool. They on the team. You got Rye Benjamin and them 2 dudes. That's it. There's nothing else to discuss. 1, 2, 3.
I will promise you that the men's 400 is going to be a lot better at these trials than you expect.
Absolutely.
I promise you your attitude will change a little bit. You might not want both of them. You might want one of them, but you ain't gonna want both of them. Because here's the problem with the men's 400, right? First of all, they don't fear Mike as much as they did 2 years ago because he hasn't been Mike.
Been on the scene.
So everybody going into that meet thinks they have a chance to win and make this team.
Yeah,
they all do. But the wild card in the whole situation is Christopher Bailey.
Oh, he's Chris has been on fire. Chris looks great.
Exactly, he is on fire. Yep.
I totally expect.
And he finishes better than anybody in the country right now.
No, if we do 400-meter predictions, there will be no predictions of mine that don't include Christopher Bailey in the top 3. There's no way.
Yeah.
Boy.
So there was an allusion to this, and I'm gonna tell the story, and then I'm gonna transition us. There was an allusion to this was a sea-level meet, and we wonder how it's going to be ranked hereafter, right? So at team dinner, I had put it on the table, and I played a would you rather, and I said, would you rather win at World Championships or win at the NCAA Championships? And none of the athletes really understood what I was asking them. Granted, it's not World Championships, but the mixture of the countries and the environment and the playing field, it's not very different at this point. If you take the top 8, first team All-Americans, there are a lot of flags being represented in every event group.
Yes.
So that's just another layer that makes the sea-level distinction trash. It is an international world-class event, and it's been that way for a long time. Like if you just take the performance metrics, because they all have they all have numbers associated with them, right? If you take the raw performance metrics of this meet compared to all the rest of them in the world at the end of the year, sure, the Olympics will be better. I assume 1 or 2 Diamond Leagues will be better, and the Diamond League final will be better. But that's it. Yeah. Maybe Euro Championships, maybe, but top 8? No, I mean, it's crazy. It's a top 5 it's a top 5 meet in the world every single year.
And that's what I was later explaining to the athletes. Like, yeah, it's a big deal for y'all to get to the NCAA Championships, but really realize what you're looking at. So when you walk away with second team, honorable mention, not the place that he wanted to land in, like that's still really big accomplishment.
Well, the part that's not being and it's not being appreciated, nor do I think it ever will, is the road to get there.
Yes.
The gauntlet.
It is insane. Like it is equivalent to doing the prelims at the Olympics or the World Championships where you've got 3 attempts. You have, you've got to put it down now, right? And there is no, well, I didn't feel right today. It's over. It's over if you're not on that day.
That's right.
And, it's interesting because I've spent a lot of time explaining to my international athletes what Fayetteville is or what Kentucky was, you know, and getting them to understand by the time you get on the runway for your first attempt in the long jump, you better be ready to jump what you would jump in the 5th or 6th round. You cannot be like, oh, let me see what happened. No. Because you're going to look around and there's going to be an 8-meter here. There's going to be a 790 here. And you're going, oh, okay, so I have no choice. It is really something to behold. I mean, once you take a step back, there's nothing easy about this. Nothing.
Nothing at all.
So that will transition us to the European Championships that just happened. Because that was like a rinse and repeat. Everything was on level Kabillion.
Well, what it does, what I've done, what it has done for me is that it is now, it's kind of the wake-up call. Like if anyone thought that the Europeans were still on their way up in terms of being in shape, they're ready now.
That's
They're
right.
ready to compete now. And we're a month and a half away from the games.
50 days.
50 days.
A little less than 50 days now, yeah. A little less than 50 days, yeah.
So before we get into the specifics of the Euro Championships, which were phenomenal, here's my two main thoughts. One, Olympic year is officially on.
Yep.
In case you thought it was a little sleepy, and in some events it has been, right? It's officially on. But two, like I said this maybe 2 years ago on one of our shows, if you ever have an opportunity to go to a European Championship, it's a completely unique thing.
Yep.
And it's wonderful. Like, you really should do that if you have a way to do that. I've been to 2 of them, and it's just a different thing. Like, you talk about tribal. Everybody who's been to the Jamaica Champs meet, the high school meet, right? And that's the thing. Like, it's passion, it's tribal. Everybody's engaged. That's exactly what Euros is, but for way bigger stakes. And it's like, it's great, man. Like, if you have a chance to go to this, like, you really should do that. They fight at that thing.
So, can I address the elephant in the room as far as that meet? And it's something that I've expressed to everybody on the chat. You know, when World Athletics announced that they were getting rid of indoor track, and they announced
short track.
We're now short track. What I didn't anticipate, okay, was what we just saw in Rome. Okay, so the Rome Stadium, as I know it, the long jump, the horizontals were usually on the infield. So inside of the track, of the oval, right? Kind of away from everything. And obviously, European athletics felt like it would be better served if they put the runways closer to the track to give the crowd, more connectivity. So what they did was they built an entire structure for the long and triple jump right next to the crowd on that level.
Oh.
And yes. And the thing about it is, when I got the ping on my phone that Tentaglue had jumped 865, I was going, wow, okay. So this is where we're at now. Okay, we're doing some big things, right? Not to mention my name goes down in the rankings, another notch.
Dang it.
Okay. All right. But I didn't hear what he was doing. I didn't hear him running on the runway. It wasn't until yesterday I get another ping. Oh, 1818 in the triple. I'm going, what is on? 1804 for second. And then I heard Diaz hit the ground doing his phases in the triple. And I'm going, they have indoor, what? Sorry. They have a short track built in the stadium.
Yeah.
So again, it begs the question, when you put a structure like that with outdoor wind, outdoor conditions, like what are we doing now? Because you get the right people on that runway, we are going to see some insane things. You put athletes in that arena, okay? We're going to see more of this. We're not going to see less of this. We're going to see more of it. And there's going to be names you're like, who?
Well,
Mahambo goes 722.
Well, now, and so I was literally going to bring up the Mahambo issue because we've all been kind of waiting on Mahambo to come back, right?
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say about her 722, it was into a 1.8 headwind. So the ramp kind of balanced out by the headwind. I don't want to know what that was with the tailwind.
Ooh wee. Oh wait. So I would start there. It kind of has me in a quandary because not all world championships, unless they stipulate this is how you have to put the jumps from here on out, not all stadiums are going to be equipped like this. So when those athletes go to a ground level runway and their numbers start coming back down to earth, proverbially. I mean, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
Like, okay, it makes me wonder, like, okay, what was the motivation to do it here, but not here? And, for those athletes, they might end up chasing those numbers for the rest of their lives. That's a number 4 triple jump in history.
It is. And even that jump, the 818, is under massive controversy if you listen to Mr.
Yes,
Pichardo.
absolutely.
So I need more background behind that story, but I found his rant entertaining. And if it went down the way he says it went down, somebody got to explain something, because that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Anybody that jumps 1804 and gets second at the Europeans, we're not talking about world champs or anything like that. Yeah, I'm sure they went home a little sore, just a little sore.
So for those who don't know, technology is taking over. We got people, advocating you just measure jumps from wherever they jump from, right? But at these meets now, there's no officials and there's no people measuring anything. It's all technology. According to Mr. Pichardo, when Mr. Diaz jumped the 818, all the technology had cut off.
Yes.
And then
the graphics on the board, everything had gone
just
black.
Gone.
Yes.
And then the mark appears and he's like, well, how? Like, we want to know how that went. So, definitely some controversy there, but either way, and to be petty and hypothetically answer your question, KST Governor, why they would do it there and nowhere else? Because it elevates the point value of the European Championships.
I don't
Oh my goodness.
That's why.
He has a point.
That's why.
He has a very valid point.
That you take them horizontal marks out of this meet, and the score is going to be a little different.
I mean, it's we could sit here and pontificate forever on why they made that decision to do that there, because there is a working runway in that stadium. You know what I'm saying?
Other things that stood out, y'all, Great Britain women running 41.91.
Yep.
That's important.
Yep.
That's a big deal.
Okay, hold on a second. Why is that such a big deal?
For them to get under 42 pre-Olympics with the team that's probably going to be the Olympic team, it's a good thing. That, GB's always in the medal hunt, but we all know, having camaraderie and having, real reps with real times prior to the show is important. So I thought that was good. Um, 400 hurdles.
I was gonna say, didn't FMK do something?
I mean,
52:49.
49, you know, neat record. And listen,
Schlubbed it off.
it's FemK's in a bad position. Like, FemK's great. I love FemK. I am more of a fan of FemK than I am of Sydney. But it's just like you just waiting for her to get her head knocked off by Syd. So, you know, I'm here for it. It's a phenomenal performance. You know, Warhome 46-9, valuable.
Another title, European title for him.
Yeah.
Irish winning the mixed 4x4 and beating the Dutch. Nobody saw that coming. That was huge. Rashida getting second in the 400, running 49.0. What did she run? 49.04?
Something like that, yeah.
And Kazmarek running 48.98 to win.
Right. I was gonna say the other world leader for half a second. Kazmarek.
Yep.
I don't know why more people aren't a fan of Kazmarek. Like, I think she gets lost in the shuffle way too much.
Yeah,
like,
she does.
She
does.
really good.
Yep. Keely Hodgkinson winning the 800, 158.65. You know, like it's the usuals were there. Dina Asher Smith winning the 200, right?
Yeah. The 100, yeah.
The 100.
Yeah. She ran 1090 something, and I think whatever Cambuji, whatever her name, 200 maybe.
Now, forgive me if something weird happened in the prelims that I missed. The biggest head scratcher to me was, where the hell was Matthew Hudson Smith in the 400?
Yeah,
wasn't there.
He said he wasn't going to go. Actually,
yeah.
I get it, but that's like, again, if you know the Euros and what it means to that, like, this championship is really important to them.
I know Matthew's coached very well, and they chose to be in preparation for the games more than preparation for Euros, because then the Great Britain trials are like soon as well. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Alexander Doom winning the 400, running 44.15. Very consistent. You know, you had four athletes under 45 seconds.
So, yeah, I'll throw this to the group. What do we think of Marcel Jacobs' win in 10:02?
I mean, I see it
that's
as
what we think.
Cool.
Yeah. Congratulations.
I see it as he did what he had to do to win.
Okay.
I think we should probably move on to New York.
I was going to say,
would start at the top. Syd, I mean, start right at the top, and she was phenomenal. It was a very well managed and consistent race. She took the race was over, 50 meters into the race, and she beat them by over 2 seconds. So, but it was just really a phenomenal run by Syd, and I have no clue what we're going to see in the 400 hurdles now.
The thing with Syd, and we talked about this earlier in the year. I said, I don't know when, but trust me, Syd and Bobby are going to take a run at the American record, if not at the world record. I hope that wasn't the last shot, because
American record, yes. World record, no chance.
I hear you. The wind saved Sonia's American
Hear
record.
me loud and clear.
I hear you. I just hope that's not the last time we see Syd run the open
quarter.
No.
Look. I'm with you on the open quarter. I'm with you on the American record. But no.
I hear you. No.
What is the world record?
47.60.
She's a full second away from that. You don't take runs at that. No. We know how that was orchestrated. So
we do.
Every now and then I will go find that race on YouTube and I will
it's nuts, isn't it?
It is absolutely crazy.
It's definitely on the list of things that should be removed.
Was that one in out of lane 1?
Yeah, she was. No.
On the inside though, right?
Yeah, she was inside. It was like 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
But boy,
yeah.
Oh.
So, well, I won't get into that now. It might be fun, but first of all, one thing that we definitely missed, you could argue it was on the list of performances of the meet from Euros. Samba Maea ran 12:31 in the hurdles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Like she's coming along. But so that's
the weird thing when you talk about the hurdles, like the American women aren't doing what we expect.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fastest time in America is like 12:40 something.
Listen, the American women might screw around and end up with no medals. Like if this kind of shit continues, right? I don't think that'll happen, but they are running at a level where that could happen. So
they're not running it great right now.
Here's the thing. I am being facetious when I make when I make the world record comments about Syd. But if you remember from what year was that? Doha. I don't even acknowledge that world record. For me, the world record is what the Bahrainian lady ran in Doha.
She tested positive.
Right. That's my point. But that's the number I want to see Syd take down.
Okay, but hold on a second.
That's the number I want to see Syd take down, and that's the number I think
the world record when you're accusing 47.60 of being dirty, and she was definitely dirty. She got popped. And
she didn't get popped. She got a whereabouts. She got a whereabouts.
No, she got popped, and then now she's back, and she can't run out of sight in 3 days.
I understand. Okay, so who do you consider to be the legitimate world record?
Second. Okay, the world record is 47.60. Fastest.
Okay. I don't do that.
Okay,
if you want to give it to Sean A, if you want to say it's Sean A.
Okay, I'm gonna let you call it who you want to call it, but you can't say that the one that broke it, that owns it, is somebody that got popped.
Yeah. No, if she tested positive, that's one thing. I legitimately thought that was a whereabouts issue, and y'all don't like when I say the whereabouts people might be dirty, so I leave that alone.
So, Mr. Fred Curley.
No.
We are all fans of Fred Curley.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Fred's. Fred's one of those guys, you see him, he just lights up the room, right? He comes in, he's funny, he's engaging. Fred, stop.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. When Fred made the transition from the 400 to do this 100-meter thing, I and 99.95% of the population thought he was crazy. I have since deferred my thinking on Fred. It's like this. Whatever Fred's doing, it may not look like it makes sense to us, but if Fred has a plan, let Fred cook. I hope that whatever that was and whatever this moment is for Fred, I hope it works out for him, and I hope there's a plan in place. Because on his face, it looks wild.
Oh boy,
it looks wild. That's where I'm at with Fred. Like Fred's cool. Like I really like Fred. I hope it works out the way he thinks it's gonna work out.
We all do, because it's Fred.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because it's Fred, and we want to see the 9-7 Fred back.
Man, what a show that was. So, I wonder when you're selecting venues, like, okay, so when we go to Europe, it is pretty much planned out what type of weather is going to happen at what venue, and you're going to have favorable results. Now, it's not going to be hot and sunny everywhere, you know, but this is not as bad as Bermuda was a couple of years ago, but every single sprint event was run into a headwind.
Yeah.
So that's my problem with the New York Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And I will leave it to y'all. Y'all tell me, because people, when I say things like this, people tell me I'm off my rocker. Why do we have to have a New York Grand Prix? Like, why do we have to have the Randall Island meet? Like, is there something special about Randall's Island that I'm missing? Is there, like, on TV, it doesn't look like any kind of unique, amazing venue. Their weather is usually weird, to say the least. They're always running into headwinds.
Yeah.
I understand we need another Diamond League level meet in the United States, but why the New York Grand Prix? Like, we can't do the Philly Grand Prix or something? Like, we can't do.
Where are you gonna have it? Where are you gonna have it in Philly?
I mean, the Penn thing's better than that place.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I mean, no, I'm saying, but
it's not even a regulation track.
cool. Do we need a New York Grand Prix? Is there?
Well,
is there?
okay, here's my thing. Okay, because
Can we have an Atlanta Grand Prix? Can we?
Okay.
Miami
There's no place in
Grand
Atlanta
Prix?
either. There's no place in Miami. Okay, let's deal with New York, right? New York was not very good this year.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen some pretty phenomenal things in New York before.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Just 2 years ago, Devin Allen ran 1284.
Mm-hmm.
Noah ran 19.5 there. You know, Bolt broke the world record there. Now, do they need to do some upgrades to the stadium? Yes. Do they need to have the ability to turn the races around? Yes.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, like there's other diamond leagues end up running into headwinds sometimes. Not that big a headwind, but it happens. Right? It happens, right? But that's the first time.
It ain't nothing close to that. It ain't nothing close to that.
Nothing close to that. But that was an outlying performance with the win there. Like that's not a normal thing in Randall's Island. I've been to Randall's Island several times and had great.
Well, that's why I'm asking. Like, that's why
it's a great meet. It's a great crowd. It's a great atmosphere. It just happened to be bad winds this year, and they need to redo the track. And Lord knows they need investments in new blocks.
Or just spikes, right? Just spikes at the very
no,
least.
blocks. Like the whole block that was terrible.
It was. It was.
That was bad.
I know of
like,
a certain coach who only
and,
likes those blocks. So.
But the thing is like I've been to that meet. They've never used those blocks before. You know.
Yeah,
I mean, those are the kind of bolts they use on Bolt ran 9.7 there. Not.
There was something that was
not. Did you see the
not
look
right.
of disgust on Noah's face when his brother's block slipped?
Yes.
It was hot.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, yeah.
So I just Googled Randall Island. To see if there's anything significant. Besides stuff from 200 years ago, there's nothing significant. It's actually a quarantine area for smallpox when they were in 200 years ago.
So you guys talk about the TV markets and all that time all the time. It's New York.
Yeah.
Okay, so but that's actually, I was hoping that was part of the calculus. Like, okay, I get why things are at Madison Square Garden, right? But unless I'm tripping, there's nothing television-wise connected to New York for our sport in this instance, right? Or am I wrong?
But again, okay, maybe I wasn't clear. It's the first time the meet's been bad. The track needs to be resurfaced. They look. I've been there. The warm period could be a little better. It's not horrible. I've been at worse.
Okay,
right?
so you're making my point, right?
No, I'm not making your point because I'm telling you, there's been not good, not great, phenomenal performances there.
Cool, but what I'm saying is today, if the track needs to be resurfaced, if the warm-up area needs to be redone, if you can only run the events in one direction.
I didn't say the warm-up. I said it could be better.
It could be better. If we can only run the events in one direction, why do we need the New York Grand Prix at Randall Island? Like, until they fix these things, can't we do something?
So where are you gonna take it? I'll wait. No,
go to Mount Sac. Run the meet.
That's your answer for everything.
Run the meet.
Go to Mount Sac. No, you already got
New York Grand Prix.
You've already got exactly. You've already got the pre-classic on the West Coast. You get everything on the West Coast. That's up on the East Coast.
Oh my goodness!
I said I was with the East Coast. I gave you some East Coast. Do it
ahead. New York is fine for that.
Give me the HBCU Grand Prix at North Carolina A&T. Give me something.
No. You're reaching.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
I don't know which was worse. That one or the one of the girl that got popped holding the world record. I don't know which one is worse. I don't know which one is worse.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't a lot of those great results at night? Wasn't that meet? Didn't that meet usually be?
It did. It used to be at night, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. When the wind is down.
And the lights are up.
The lights are up, yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Just saying.
Well, gentlemen, I think we've given the audience enough for this week. We got to get him to come back next week.
Yeah, Clyde was on fire tonight, boy.
Yes, he was.
It's been amazing. This is a good one. You're welcome, everybody. Thank you, Eugene, for the pollen. So imagine another good show in about 3 weeks when we come back from Eugene and do it all over again.
3 weeks.
The next show will be in the middle
3
of the
weeks.
trials, right?
Yes,
Well,
one thing.
It's on the
no,
off
no,
day.
back.
We shooting
no.
on the off day.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no. So we can shoot next week before the meet doesn't start till Friday.
Yeah.
Either way, we shooting.
Yes.
We on the off day, we shooting.
Then the next week, the off days are Tuesday, Wednesday, right? Which is another.
Yes.
Chewy, don't be out here trying to announce no
Hold on.
3-week hiatus. That ain't
Hold on a
happening.
second.
No, what I was saying was the
wanna
show is going to
complain
be
about
good
something,
in 3 weeks.
Complain about that. Why do we need 2 days off in the middle of the trial? In
Yeah.
Eugene, Oregon, when you can't breathe.
Hey,
There we go.
listen.
They want you to go take a dip in the water.
Well, see,
Us
God's
evolved,
we gotta get
can
we
breathe
can't
just
breathe,
fine.
right? So-
No, they got to give you the Tuesdays off so you can go down to Beaverton and get into the store and then come back.
Oh boy.
Hey, the evolved citizens can breathe just fine.
The evolved citizens.
The Neanderthals, y'all, I don't know what y'all doing. You got to step the game up. I don't know.
Well, there's
Oh
more
my
of us than there
gosh.
are of y'all, so you guys are outnumbered.
There are much more of us. Yeah.
That's usually how it works.
Oh my God, I can't.
You are in the minority once again,
Oh.
my friend.
Oh, oh man. All right. With all of that said, ladies and gentlemen, have a great week ahead of you. Rest up before USA's, but we will see each other again soon. Bye, everyone.
Night.